Alrighty, hello everyone. We are on the mouse, which is Earth energy. Okay, and pop that open and see what it says. Mouse, 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 mouse. Saying that before you started. Okay, mouse is energy. This Earth energy is detail oriented, small minded, nitpicky, and nervous. Okay, the mouse energy it's just you're doing shit to do shit. Every time I look at this card, I always hear you're doing shit to do shit because that's literally when you're out of balance, you're busy without a purpose. But this is a means of they overanalyze, they overthink, they over scrutinize, they overdo everything. I have to do this 15 million times to get it right. I have to get it perfect, or they're micromanaging themselves, micromanaging others. It becomes more cynical. I'm hearing more I'm just being honest, I'm just being real, I'm just being truthful. When in all honesty, you're not actually giving constructive criticism, you're not giving constructive insight, knowledge. It's just you're scrutinizing. It's not up to your standards. You're always trying to fix someone. You're always preparing for something. You're always trying to organize something, get something ready. And it's just a means of it's not leading you anywhere, right? And it's a means of now with you taking and having your hands on any and everything and trying to take it all in and fix it and work on it, you become small-minded. Your expansion for things have become limited to what you can hold in your hands. And you can't hold too much in your hands, so you're not able to hold too much in your mind, your thought, or your heart. So taking that in is a meaning of it's painful experience, it says, for both the mouse and those around them. Like I said, you start to control every detail, scrutinizing, analyzing it, demeaning it, questioning it, judging it, all these things. And if you're doing that with yourself in your own life, it starts to seep out to others, right? Because it becomes this small-minded, well, my morals are my morals, my opinions are my opinions, my thoughts are my thoughts. Why is nobody else thinking like this? Why is nobody acting like this? It's because you have become so much of pulling it in, nitpicking, overthinking, that it's now reflecting that. It says, when the mouse energy is at play, step back for a moment. Bless you. It may be time to find a more I hate peas. Them double words together be kicking me. It may be time to find a more purposeful project to dive into, one that's worthy of your exacting eye. Like I said, once you have your hands on everything, you can't hold on to much of anything, which is a new thought, a new opportunity, maybe a new resolution, some new creative ideas, maybe a different perspective, a different understanding, a different outlook, whatever it is. But when you become so into it, which is fine to be in the details, but the devil's in the detail. We all know the devil card, okay? So take that as is. When we get into balance, however, you can be organized. You got your shit together. You know exactly where everything is and how it operates. You are resourceful. You know who to call, how to call them, who to reach out to, things of that sort, and you're also prepared. Like I said, it's not, I have to micromanage, I have to catch them before they catch themselves, I have to do it. I'm just ready. I know exactly the resources I got. I know who I can reach out on myself or this. I know it's having the information, like I said, that allows you to be expansive. Not feel like you have to gather it and have it at the same time. It says when you're out of balance, like I said, it says busy with no purpose. You're just doing shit to do shit. Moving to move. Being involved just to be involved. You're not actually doing it for a meaningful reason. You're just doing it to do it. To just, like a mouse. You're just scurrying around. you're just doing things. Just, let me go ahead and pick up this lint like a mouse does. And also let me pick this up, and then soon your home is full of junk. And that is also, I'm hearing, like your spiritual body. Just, I'm going to take this here, and this is also assignment. This is also assignment. This is also after. You're doing a whole lot. And like I said, soon they begin to have a limited and fearful vision of life. And once, like I said, you take on too much, you don't allow the expansion and growth of something to blossom truly because you're holding on. So to bring it to balance, a meaningful project. Everyone wrote, pick a task and stick to that one purpose, right? It can be something simple. Something simple like, you know what? I'm gonna decide to just, take all the stickers out and do this and just doing that, just sticking to that. Just one meaningful project, whatever is meaningful for you. I can't think of anything right now For me, it's my art project. That is something that is very meaningful, but it is something that it's like, okay, I know I can do this. I know I can put my all and dive into this. I know I can expand on this versus feel like you have to put your all and dive into everything and you're not actually able to do it with a purposeful heart and a purposeful mind and with true intention. And then you start, like I said, nitpicking because it's not going how you want, it's not going to go how you expected, and you wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. Okay? Sorry, the car was just running really slow. My thing is so creepy. Yeah, we'll do this one. We'll do love. See what's going on with your relationships and love. That's what we'll do. We'll draw that together. What's going on for the mouse energy with our relation? Because I feel like that's what it is. It's, I mean, when you have a fear of losing your connections when you start to dive into yourself. You feel like you'll lose your connections and growth if you're not nitpicking or judging everybody or giving them quote unquote constructive criticism, or you're involved in everything and anything, but as soon as you pull back to do something for yourself, I don't know, it's just this thing of like you feel like you have to be scurrying like a mouse in order to have a true purpose in life, and that is not the mindset. That is a limited mindset. Okay, so what do we have in regards to relationships? Woo. Her foot was caught in her hair when she was scratching it. What do we got? Soulmate and commitment. Yeah, like I said, I knew it was something where you're worried that if you start diving into yourself and not just doing things to do things without a sense of purpose, you're actually committing to something. It will allow you to actually commit to maybe other people a little bit better, right? Like better at time management, better at preserving your energy, and like I said, resources as well, being a lot more organized and structured in that sense. Um, to actually be committed. People feel like if they say yes to everything, that shows their commitment, their loyalty, that they're present, and it's a means of you're not allowing that for yourself. So in order to actually truly have soulmates, and this is not just romantic, this is also platonic, this is also with your family, to actually truly have a commitment with your soulmate, you have to realize what you should and shouldn't be committing to, what you should and shouldn't be doing, because once you start being so intricately involved, I'm hearing, in any and everybody's life, you feel like you know them, you feel like what decisions they shouldn't have made. It causes, like I said, that small-minded, nitpicky attitude. You start being fearful. I don't think they actually do this. I don't know if I should, and I don't know. It just starts questioning, and it doesn't allow you to lead in a way that actually shows, like, I trust you, you trust me. Okay, I'm gonna leave this, I'm gonna go do this, and allow that to actually happen. Ooh, we got fantasy versus reality. We got a few cards for you guys coming out. We got options, we got missing you, and we got hidden agenda. All right, so your fantasy, it sounds like it's being mixed up with reality, which is making sense and why you're scurrying like a mouse, trying to do any and everything because you don't know exactly where to be rooted into, which is why they want you to do that meaningful project, something that actually matters to you, and not something that you feel like you just have to be involved in to prove that you can be involved in it, right? You also have options. This is options for opportunities. This is options for soulmates, for connections, for people. Like I said, if you feel like you have to overextend yourself to prove who you are and your worth, it turns into something where I'm hearing nobody wants to be around you. It becomes negative. It becomes judgy. It makes them try to strict and restrict, strict and shrink themselves. I can't even double S words or double words. Strict and shrink themselves, and that doesn't actually truly allow reality to seep in. It doesn't allow true commitment to seep in, because now they're doing falsified things and you're doing falsified things because nobody's truly showing up for themselves because they're afraid of how to be seen, or I'm hearing afraid to be absent, to be not there. Allow people to miss you. Allow people to be like, wow, because that also allows to show their true commitment in that relationship, in your life. They can't have access to you all the time, right? And it's this thing of where you're going around moving and doing everything. It takes that, okay? So for that, with the missing, you take that in. Sorry. And then with that, you also have hidden agenda. I'm not exactly sure what the hidden agenda is. Can you get clarification on hidden agenda, please?
I have to put my application and I have to put everything in. So maybe tell me to use her task manager and try.
There we go. All right, we got you already. So they told me to switch this down to the hidden agenda, fantasy, and reality, and options, which is letting me know that you feel like the people that are around you are not being as honest as they should or as upfront. So you don't feel ready and prepared to actually be committed to somebody, to be involved with them, to be surrounding them. So I'm hearing in a healthy way. You're not allowing them to miss you in a healthy way. You're not allowing yourself to get to even expand and grow with yourself as well, to truly be committed to this relationship that you want, which is where you feel like people have a hidden agenda, which is why you start to be nitpicky and critiquing and micromanaging, is because you feel like, this is not going how I thought it would, but it's not going how you thought it would because you're not operating in a means that is purposeful, right? So you feel like they got a hidden agenda, that I'm not ready, I'm not going to put my all in, but I'm going to show them who I am, I'm going to put my, I got options, I got this and that, was honestly, this is what you're truly ready for, but you're not operating in that, right? So find a meaningful task. All right, so to go ahead and complete the part, kind of where we left off. I said most of what I need to say in regards to that. So just make sure for that. I did go ahead and pull another card from Missing You because I only put cards for clarification messages for these. So I'm going to go ahead and get those out from just that as well, just to continue on. You need an orgasm. Your kidneys hate you, hydrate now. Strategy needed before action is taken. Casper, the scared ass ghost. They don't care, move on. Throat punch. And then this is the card I recently pulled for you guys, which was Obsessed. And the reason why we did all this and they're laying on top of each other is because they line up, right? You don't feel like you're ready. You don't feel like you're actually ready to embrace an actual soulmate, a commitment, whether that be relationship, career, something to actually dive into that actually can have intentional purpose, is because you need release, right? And it's not just an orgasm on the sexual, it's an orgasm on the physical and the mental and the spiritual, that release of pressure, that euphoric, right? That sensuality of coming into your own and recognizing that, right? It can be sexual, of course, but it's just taking that into, again, a broader aspect into thinking, not just this way, this is the only way it has to be, especially since that's not how everybody is set up, right? There's asexual people out there. So it's just kind of this process of realizing, don't be so narrow-minded into where you can get your pleasure from, your joy from, right? You're not limited. Don't feel like this is the only way. You have to be ready. It can be a friendship, it can be a business relationship, whatever it is. But with this card, it's saying your kidneys hate you, hydrate now. There's no need in worrying about a soulmate or not if you are not truly committed to yourself, taking care of your body, taking care of how you treat and what you feed it, right? Have you exercised lately? Have you drank some water? Have you eaten some fruit, eaten some vegetables? It's a means of, you're looking for this connection so much on the outer source that you're doing all these things, but you're having a disconnect with yourself. So make sure that you are taking care of that, especially with this is you being your true desire up here, of wanting that commitment, of wanting that relationship, of wanting that partnership, of wanting those supportive connections where you're also able to give to yourself and provide for yourself without feeling like it's a neglect of you or others, right? Which is where the strategy needed before action is taken come in, right on top of the commitment. If you are looking for that, what are you looking to get out of it? What does that look like to you? What does that feel like to you, right? How does that balance out in your own life in retrospect? If you are truly looking for that commitment in that relationship, whether that be a marriage, whether that be, pregnancy just be popping up in my head, that's a new one. Pregnancy, whether it be career, whether it's you are looking for a commitment, but you have to have a strategy before you're like, yeah, let's go all in. And not to say that you can't experience it and go with the flow, but come with the mindset of actually looking, again, intentfully, with it, not just moving, scurrying around, no, coming with that organized, prepared plan, right? When you are in balance, you know exactly what you want, how you want it, how to get there, who to reach out to, the resources, and being prepared for that. So prepare strategy, create a plan, right? Because right now with this hidden agenda card and Casper, the scared ass ghost, is making it seem like everything and everyone around you, if you aren't doing something or you aren't handling it yourself, it's not going to get done. And that's because you are afraid to rely on others. When you really want to have that commitment, when you really want to feel truly relaxed and prepared and ready, right? So that way you can have those meaningful goals, right? That meaningful project to actually dive into that is purposeful. And that way you can have support, you can have an outlet, you can have a resource for yourself. So you being scared is leading you to feel like everybody has a hidden agenda, right? That they want to use you, or that they won't be around, or that they're one thing or that they're another, which leads to the fantasy versus reality, because now you're confusing who actually is there for you, supports you, loves you, care about you, which is also in turn of you neglecting yourself. It's feeling like, no, this is how it is, and this is how it isn't, when you're confusing your feelings, your emotions, how you want things to be versus how they actually are, how the action is being inputted. So you have to realize that some people just don't care, and you have to move on. You feel like you're doing all this, yeah, I'm saying this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, and you're overextending yourself, which is why it says hydrate now. Your reservoir is drying out because you are trying to live up to this fantasy, when the reality of it is they don't care. The situation doesn't care, the person doesn't care, the job doesn't care. It's a means of stop being so scared to leap out and jump for yourself, because you feel like the fantasy is better when the fantasy is draining you in reality. It's making you feel stifled. It's making you feel like you have to nitpick and navigate and root everything, when in all honesty, it's just a matter of you having to release and put it where the true purpose is, right? Which leads to throat punches, because you don't want to realize that you have options, or that there are other options out there for you, right? It's sometimes seeing that wider aspect of what you thought you spent your time, your energy, your devotion into. It's a throat punch to realize maybe that's not the way I should go. Maybe that's not what I should be putting my time and energy into. And it can hurt. It can feel like there's a lump in your throat, but there is a realization that there are options out there. You feel like everybody else has all these options, which is why it's down here, when that's not the reality of the situation. You have boundless opportunities and movements to do so. So you acting in that way is a realization that not everybody is going to care about what you want to do or your options and your navigation. So don't lead off that mindset of other people's thinking. Move on, okay? Which is why I pulled another card, because again, allow people to miss you and possibly never come back, because that can lead to an obsession of you feeling like, oh, they miss me, I have to feed to that, I have to tend to that, because is that truly how you want to have commitment in your life? Is that truly how a soulmate acts? Is okay, if they're missing you, then you feel like there's a connection of where that can be fine. But with this obsessed card coming out, it's not giving that energy, right? It's becoming the obsessive of the mind. It's creating something where it said you are distracted, you're not prepared, you're everywhere. And you need to realize that that obsession can lead to a possible neglect of self, and not a relief of self, not comfortability with self, being afraid, being scared to reach out or strategize, and just relying on other people when they don't care about your next step or your first one, okay? Then we went ahead and pulled out your affirmation cards, which was passions and my success. So passions is pursuing my hobbies and unique interests is not a waste of time. My hobbies bring me pure inner joy, and my interests light up my spirit in fantastic ways. I dismiss societal pressure and simply allow myself to enjoy the things I like, right? Which is why they want you to find that project and dive into it. That is what allows you to truly be you in a wider expansion of self than you even possibly realize, right? Which leads to my success. I define my own success in life. Some people want money, others want happiness. My definition of success is what I intentionally choose. I will roll up my sleeves and ponder what success means to me, then work hard to reach those goals. Again, allow yourself to recognize what you need. Hydrate, take that time, and do what needs to be done for you at all moments. Okay? That is your reading, Mouse. I thank you for your patience and understanding. Until next time.